ours last time, but we're just now getting this stuff set up, so as the day goes on, any of these little hiccups will get ironed out. But we're about to start match 2, which is between Gary Had a Sex Change and Team Rainbow Apocalypse, and I'm not sure which of those two names I like better. I'm Sir Squeebles. I'm here with Dantessi Catalan. Dantessi, say hi.
Hello.
So we're waiting for the teams to come on grid now. We're just going to do a final check, make sure everything is visible and sexy and all that good stuff, and once that's the case, we'll go.
Well, lucky for us, we're always sexy, so not a whole lot of effort needed there.
Yeah, okay. Okay. So let's talk briefly while the rest of this is getting ironed out about sort of the expectations and what we expect to see as far as, redundant, as far as comps from a 5v5. Do you think we're going to see more high DPS rush type setups? Do you think we're going to see more teams that follow in the footsteps of Force Girls with this sort of sturdy, anchored team with good projection? What do you think?
I definitely am going to say we're going to see the sturdy shield tank ships with nice projection this entire match, or this entire tournament. They just are very, very strong, and as long as they're flown correctly, they are very lethal.
So one of the interesting things to consider, though, with that point, is that if you're using a shield setup and you're going to do a non-mobile team like the Coraxes and the Caracals, you're going to have to deal with the limited targeting range of the ships themselves. I mean, we're only fielding cruisers, frigates, destroyers in this tournament. Your base lock range is not all that high, and in a 100-kilometer arena, those things that you're primarying could just burn out and then come back in, because no matter what you fit, you're not going to be able to project more than probably 70 or 80. I think my money's on more aggressive rush style setups. I think shield will definitely be the preferred tank this entire tournament, and I can tell you that I'm not wrong with Team Gary Had a Sex Change, who just landed on grid. For their team, we're looking at a Caracal, a MOA, Thorax, another MOA, and then they have off in the distance a Mollis. So we saw how effective that Mollis was in the first match. I'm kind of excited to see if this guy can replicate that success. So good luck to Global, and your team's landing now.
And we're all landing at 0, so this is going to be an all-out brawl fest today. And it looks like we're actually missing one person from Team Gary, missing on field. Am I wrong?
No, you're wrong. I've got 4 on the beacon at 0, and then I've got the smallest pilot of GLI off in the distance. What are your team names? I've got Angie, I've got Whitelana, Commander, and Fiona. Who am I missing from Rainbow?
Fiona, Whitel, Angel, Mollusk, and Commander Flip Flop are the Team Unicorn teams.
Okay, and the match is off, and holy shit, Angie is taking a lot of damage in the Thorax for Gary Had a Sex Change. If they don't land those reps quick, they're going to lose a lot of their DPS. He's into structure.
And he's going down. I have Angel going down as well, and Angel is popped.
Alright, that's
very,
down
very
for each
quick.
team. Looks like the next primary is Fiona in the Thorax. He is catching reps, though, so it looks like Rainbow Apocalypse will be able to save that Thorax, but on the side of Gary Had a Sex Change, Kiro, God, that name. Kiro is taking some pretty heavy damage. They've got to keep him up. This is going to be a war of who can keep the most Thoraxes or blaster boats alive.
Yeah, and Fiona's dipping deep into armor. And looks like Kiro. Oh, yeah, Kiro seems to be holding a little bit better.
There goes Fiona.
And
yeah,
Fiona.
definitely. So it looks like Gary Had a Sex Change won in that DPS war, so they're probably overheating everything they've got, which was definitely the right call. They busted through those tanks of Rainbow Apocalypse pretty early And now I think it's just a war of attrition. This looks like it's going to go pretty handily to Gary Hedis Exchange.
Commander Flip Flop now being the primary for Team Unicorn, and he's going to be dipping straight into armor and structure.
So you can see these huge shields coming out of the MOA. They don't have a logistics cruiser, so those are almost certainly XLASB MOAs, which means even though that's pretty admirable tanking on that part of Commander Flip Flop, he's only got 9 charges, and it's sort of, as I said, a waiting game, really. He's such slow structure now.
What are your team names? I've got.
And there he goes. So now White's left on field for Team Rainbow Apocalypse, and we still have 4 pilots, it looks like, up for Team Gary Hedis Exchange, although Kira is going down pretty quickly.
Yep, looks like his ASB has run out, and
boom, boom. Or as I like to say, boom goes the dynamite.
So now, something interesting to note about this tournament is all implants and drugs are completely legal. So if these gentlemen aren't using drugs, they're bad.
You know, like I always said, stay in school, but you can do drugs if you want to.
I've said the same thing myself.
So now we're looking at a Mollis, a Caracal, and a MOA on the side of Gary Hedis Exchange versus just a MOA and a Mollis on Team Rainbow Apocalypse. And again, we're seeing some pretty admirable tanking from the MOA of Waitalana, but there he goes. So that was a great match. That win is going to go to Gary Hedis Exchange. Really nice performance. The Mollis is not really all that effective here, but those flash boats and the sturdy tank were really impressive. Alright, so we're going to hop back up as we prep for the next match. Match 3 will be against Fozzie is my wingman versus Team Mike Check. Which,
Mike's a great guy. He checks everything. Double checks, triple checks. Great guy.
Quad checks. A little much if you ask me. Alright, but let's hop back up Antezi, and we'll see you guys back here in a minute for match 3 of day 1.
Probably overheating everything they've got, which was definitely the right call. They busted through those tanks.